afternoon. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to another Heart to Heart with us, the Sawyers. I'm Toni Sawyer, and who are you?
I'm Junior Pudding.
And okay, are you getting straight over there?
I'm straightening it in.
Wow. Hello, Linda Langdon. You're the first one here. Thank you for being here with us, darling.
Sister Linda.
And thank you for my Mother's Day card. I meant to tell you earlier, and I just thought about it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I hope you had a good Mother's Day. Hello, Pat. How are you? Hope you're feeling well. Hello, Apostle Norman. It's good talking to you the other day, and hope things working out for you. We'll be talking to you soon. Hello, Joe. Glad you're here today. There's Vern coming in the house. And I hope you're doing well, young lady. And there's Deb. Hello, Deb. I think, Pastor, you're supposed to see her Friday, aren't you?
I'm gonna go
for a barber.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Hello, Dovey. Dovey. How do you say that? We're doing good, sweetie. We're doing good. Hello, John Greason.
Dr. John.
There's my sister and brother-in-law. Hey, sweetie, I love you. There's Jill. Hey, Jill. Hope you're having a good day, sweetheart. And Dovey. Hello, Sandra. Thank you for that gift, Sandra.
Appreciate
you so much.
So
Thank you so much. Hello, Vincent and Diana in California. It's good to have you guys with us. We were blessed today, weren't we? Wow. I mean, it was a biggie. A biggie. Should I tell them?
Well, wait. Yeah.
No, don't tell them.
Well, you can say somebody.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't say names.
No, I'm just somebody did.
Yeah.
Somebody calling our name. Somebody rung the bell.
Somebody
open the door and let them in.
Somebody actually paid for our new air conditioners.
Both of them.
Should I tell them the amount?
Nope.
Don't tell them the amount?
Nope, because it's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's real heavy.
It's real heavy.
It'll make you go, it'll make you walk catty-walk there. I mean, it just really will make
You're right about that. You are right about that.
It'll make you tear your reverse out going forward.
I said when they blessed us, I said, my heart knows it's true, but my head could not wrap around it. I said that it was just in my head was just spinning.
It's still working too.
Yes, it is. And then we got another gift from Sandra. Sandra, thank you so much, darling. So we were blessed today. I mean, our socks were blessed off. So it's all being taken care of. And when I say God, universe, divine intelligence, source is taking care of us.
Sure is.
Taking care of you as well. And there comes Dee Dee. Hey, Dee Dee and George. Dee Dee.
George.
Yeah. Did I miss anybody?
No.
There's Sister Chris.
Yeah, see her.
Yeah.
See you.
Yes, Sissy, that was awesome. You are right, sweetheart.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Kessler J.
In the 3 zeros, wasn't it? Hey, Brooke Kessler, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we have been blessed today. I hope you have, and I believe that abundance is flowing not only to us, but it's flowing to all of us. All of you who are listening, and we've had a busy day today, haven't we?
Yeah, a little bit busy.
Yeah, I've been cleaning out the garage and getting some things done in the yard, and so we've been busy bees today. But we're glad to be here with you, to take this time out to talk to you guys and have you share back with me and with us. And I wonder what we're going to know and learn tonight. Isn't that something? It was really good on Sunday. Yes, very, very good on Sunday. And I don't know. Let's start with our I am affirmation. Let's do that. Let me
Okay.
move this banner out of the way, and then we'll go for it. We'll just go for it. I want you to take a minute to be still. If you're busy, I want you to stop and just give yourself down to just get quiet for a moment and not have to think about anything else. If you can't do that, then turn your ears toward what I'm saying. But I would like for you to just be still for a moment while we do this affirmation. And I want you to take a deep breath in and let it out. Let it go of all the concerns of the day, everything that's taken place today. Just let it all go and repeat after me. I am not this body, nor these thoughts, nor these feelings. I am consciousness itself. I am the background upon which all things appear. I am not any form, but I am the essence of all forms. I am the space between thoughts. This space, this place, is where I live. I am always here. No one can touch me. No one can enter here where I am. Even my mind cannot enter here. I may forget who I am. I may forget where I am. But I cannot forget that I am. I am this knowing that knows that I am. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. What have you got on the docket tonight, Mr. Sawyer?
Well, we are the truth of God without anything being corrected.
Mm-hmm.
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 We are the truth of God without anything being found or lost.
Mm-hmm.
We are the truth of God without any kind of event. We are the truth of God without an object or something to be called real or not real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are the meeting of God at its true position, in its true position,
Mm-hmm.
or the true self. We are the unmoving, moving presence of God.
Moving.
Mm-hmm. That means when we are walking or moving our hand, we are that truth. And when we're laying or sitting still, we are still that truth. We are the truth in stillness.
Yes.
We are the truth in movement.
We have a young man who's here speaking on here. He says his Doc Bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's his full name, but he says, "Blessings, Dr. Sawyer. Me and my family would come down to your church in Greensboro. Everything you prophesied has come to pass."
I don't remember him.
Let
No,
us know
that's
let us know where you coming in from, if you would. And
Doc Bar. I like that name, Doc.
Uh-huh. Good afternoon, Sharon.
In beingness of oneness with God, there is no finding out or seeking to find out anymore outside of God. We come to the place where seeing, listening, hearing, touching does not have any bearing at all upon our relationship with God. I was watching some people online last night, and they were basing their relationship of God's presence being where there was a lot of movement, a lot of noise, a lot of emotion. And when you go into the fullness of awareness, you may still have those things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They may come, they may not, but nothing to change about what you have found out to be truth of God's existence
Mm-hmm.
in our form. This is not a seeing and knowing God is not a mental or emotional thing, even though that may take place,
Yes.
but it does not stop there, nor does it start there.
Mm.
You are, let's say it like this, you are God's 24/7 attention.
Mm.
Your 24/7 attention is and have always been who you've always been. Have always been who you've always been.
Mm-hmm.
Your eternal pure self is who you are when there's evil or no evil. Your eternal self does not cease to exist just because a place appear to be evil or words are said that sound evil.
You know, we talked about a little bit about what you just shared there when we talked about going home on Friday, on Sunday. We were talking
Mm-hmm.
about the home base or the uh, the place, the baseline, and all of us to stay at that baseline.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we referred to the the self that is not conditioned, or
Mm-hmm.
I should
Mm-hmm.
say the essence of who we are, and to speak from that, think from that, move from that. That's what you're
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And
God is everything that no longer has to meet or come up with a quota to determine percentage wise how much of God is in a particular place, more or less. Mm, mm.
okay, can you go over that one again for me?
God is not an evaluation of being more or less in a place just because you may feel or not feel the tangibleness of the presence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That means that you have come to a place of awareness where none of those things move you anymore because you have seen the truth that God is,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of those
Mm-hmm.
avenues or events. You are where God is, and God is where you are. And that's not egotistically saying that you got something that somebody else don't have. That is for all of us.
That's all.
That's
Yes,
all.
all of us. Yes. So there's no special persons, in except you say we're all special because we all have the same status.
It's not. It's not. It's no longer God being induced by a sound or not,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
by a crowd of people or not.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, well, we always say what that old saying: um, if God is in one place, something we used to say in church all the time. Um, God being present and something we used to say was crazy, but it didn't make any sense. That's why I can't remember.
Okay.
There's no finding or seeking or finding out God.
Mm-hmm.
You know where God is. That comes from, if there is a knowing, it has not anything to do with a seeking, a feeling. He said to me, "You didn't find me. I allow you to discover."
Yes. 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 So,
Seeing, listening, and talking and touching.
so at our pure seeing is where recognition, realization, uh, awakening takes place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a physical seeing, and we're
Mm-hmm.
not talking about the seeing of a vision, but it's the seeing of that can't be seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best way I can say it. It's the seeing of that can't be seen with the naked eye or with the physical eye, not even with the mind's eye, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not even seen with the imagination. So God, when we talk about God, we're not talking about the conjured image of religion,
Mm-hmm.
of some being that is bigger than life in the way up in the sky. This is what I call the sky God. It's not some being that is looking down on earth and judging and punishing. It's not that conjured
Wow.
God.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at what Doc is saying. You remember that?
Yes, yes. I didn't know if you wanted to stop, so
No,
I
no,
didn't say
no. Look
anything.
at Doc. Go
But he
ahead.
says you came to Apostle Taylor on Liberty Street. That was way back, years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, years ago.
That's
In
bad.
Winston-Salem,
Yeah.
and ministered at Ambassador Cathedral, Bishop Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that was decades ago. Wow.
You about to tell
Wow.
how old we are.
Wow. Sinette says this: God is always there, no matter the roles we choose to act out. We can decide just to acknowledge that we play a role and enjoy the play unfold. Yeah.
The next chair that you sit in will be God's personal seat. And in that seat is the seeker, the knock on the door, the finding, the hearing, the listening, the knowing, the exposure, the awareness, the all, what that word encompassing?
All encompassing.
The all encompassing beingness of God is all wrapped up in one place, yet in all places the same. That's this stuff. Oh Lord have mercy. I mean, it's worth it is worth sitting still for a minute, for a second, and tell your true self that there is nothing else to ask for. I made a statement on my writing. I was writing something here down and I putting it together. When the mind wake up to the pure self, it is then that the real blessings of God are seen complete. The completeness of God is there whether the mind wake up or not, but if the mind wakes up, it's fringe benefits.
So you said
To
the
the
mind
mind.
waking up.
But if it does not, we don't stop there. We don't get caught up with trying to convince the mind. The noise that the mind is making is a sign that it is not the real self.
Okay.
Because if it was awake, it would also authenticate the existence of God with silence and stillness. In other words, silence and stillness would speak louder than noise.
And it does.
Speak louder than noise or thinking.
Yes, and it does. It does.
It is then at that complete state that God is seen or not seen, but isness, absoluteness, exactness. It is almost like saying no thing or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
God is not, we often see God as events arising.
Yes, we do. Yes, we look for the events, don't we, to give us confirmation.
Don't wait for the mind to get quiet before it is noted that you are the stillness of God with or without noise. You are the I have of God. And you are the I have found out the truth of God. With you are the I have found the truth of my identity. You are the I have of God. Think about that. I mean, if you want to, you don't have to, but just give it a try. You are the I have. I have. We are the I have. You don't have to say it like I say it. And I'm not trying to say it like somebody would like to hear it. But you are the I have. Right now, today, right where you are, I can see you. You are the I have.
Linda said this. Thank you, Linda. She says, today I was feeling in my being. I am creation playing, Linda.
Ooh,
yeah.
Miss Linda, I'm going to have to drink on that one, girl. I'll tell you the truth.
That's a goodie. Linda is a perceived object like any other object. Feeling I am not even an I, more like an is. Oh, that's good there. That's good.
Ooh.
That's good, Linda. That's good. That's good, honey. Child, that's good. I'm going to read that again.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Please.
She says,
take
today
it again.
I was feeling in my being.
Yes.
I am creation.
Yes.
Playing Linda.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Linda is a perceived object like any other object. Feeling I am not even an I, more like an is. That's it. When we feel like we're an object, that is when we are falling into the belief of being the form, being the body, being the mind. And in actuality, we are not that. So when we talk about home base, going to your baseline, we're talking about that place where when we ask the question, can anything happen outside of you, outside of it? If you speak from that place, and that's what you're doing, Linda, you're speaking from that place, that home base, that baseline, that place that is not, it's not really definable, but it is what you are. It is that you are, and it is what's living this life. Even though we think it's these bodies and minds, it is that is living these lives.
In the true, pure self of God dwells the fullness of all that God is, bodily, spiritual, or physical.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we are the completeness. We are the completeness of Him, which is the head of all things, principles, principalities, whatever you want to call it, or powers, in whom also you are completely circumcised, cut off. The big lie that we have some more changes to make is a sign that the circumcision has taken place. Because if it was not true, there wouldn't be any noise being made. The noise is being made because there's something don't want to accept the truth of the full wager of crucifixion and resurrection of the real self having already taken place. hope you got that. I had to
It's
turn it
a whole
around.
lot
I
that you
had to
said
turn it
there.
around. There's a whole lot in there.
Yeah, there's a whole lot you said. If we are, as Linda said just now, and wasn't Linda that said it, it was Pure Essence that said it. If we are not an I, or an identity, or an I entity, then what are we? That's my question. If we're not an I, if we're not an object. Now, we do realize, and I have to say this because some people may not have caught up with what Linda's saying. Some listening to this may not be catching up with what Linda's saying. Linda is actually pointing out to all of us, as we've been saying for quite some time, that we're not these bodies. We're not the concept of what we think we are in our minds. That is not who we are. That is not what we are. And if when I reach the death of this body, I exit it, then what am I that's exiting? And if in the womb there is a point in time when I enter this body, then what is it that enters that? And that's what we're saying. That's your baseline. That enters and that exits these forms is the baseline. But we don't see ourselves as that until grace unfolds it before us, and our eyes open. And and at that point, when that happens, you really stop identifying as heavily with your body and your mind. It may not take 100, may not happen 100%, where you're completely distanced from it at a particular point, but it happens over the course of time. You become less and less identified as a me, a me that is a little me, that feels threatened, that was constructed from my upbringing, from what I experienced. Yesterday, I watched. It was a Oprah. I can't remember what show it was, but anyway, she had an interview with Viola Davis, and I don't know if you all have seen it. But Viola Davis wrote a book, and I plan to get that book, and it's called Finding Me. Finding Me. She had her journey, and her journey didn't take her to the bottom. And we often say some people have to hit rock bottom in order to see. But in her case, she reached the pinnacle of success, and then she could see, because she realized after getting all of that, all of the things that she wanted to achieve, she still wasn't happy. And she realized something was still missing. So she set out to find herself, and she went back, not to she didn't start studying books and all of this. She went back to the little girl. She said it like this: she went back to the 11-year-old girl who was running down the street being chased by 9 guys who were calling her the N-word and telling her she was ugly. She went all the way back to that and had to discover that little girl was still running in her, but she said running without moving its feet. And she realized that was not who she was. So she found zero. She found her home base. She found her baseline. Yeah, apart from all of the glitz and the glamour.
I remember in my younger days, I was crazy. I was directed to go to a Methodist church. And I stood up in the pulpit with an opportunity to speak. And there was a great big upheaval in this church about this pastor.
Yeah.
I saw Jesus stand in the pulpit with the programming that they had. And I saw him take the program like this and tear it in half and threw it away. Now that was in my days. I don't know what you call these days, but they was crazy, and I don't see where it's necessary to do that now. But during that time, I thought that everything that God told me and showed me, I felt like I was supposed to do it. But then as I got older, I found out that some things are just personally for you or for us.
Mhm.
So now we've come through this and we've seen some things. We have seen the ways of God that never change or yet is constantly changing. And we're beginning to see things different
Mhm.
than what we used to see.
Mhm.
The birth hand, we see the the first birth hand of God being born 24/7 with every step that we make. We now have found
When you say birth hand,
the
what do you
birth.
mean?
When I say birth hand, we see the first hand of God. The first, each time somebody is born physically in this world, and at the first hand, and over it's like for the first time. That's first hand. The first time, every event is like the first time God experienced physical birth. But in the mind, it's not. But in God, everything is new.
Yeah.
Nothing ever is old. That's what I
Yes.
mean when I say first hand birth.
Okay.
Um, Born again and never coming to an end. The born again is a continuous experience.
Well, I was about to say that
Yeah,
because I'm finding
it's not
that
an end,
being
a
born,
ending.
I'm finding that I have been born again so many times
Oh
as I
yes.
as my eyes have opened to something that I've not seen before. I am born again. And so we are often born again and again and again and again because the depth of the layers of conditioning of being human is
Mm-hmm.
so thick.
Mm.
And so when those layers are being peeled off, I see again. And then when another layer is peeled off, I see again. It took me 74 years to be comfortable with being nobody
Mm-hmm.
because all
Mm-hmm.
my life I've been trying to be somebody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And getting comfortable with being nobody. I don't mean in the sense of not of value. I mean nobody. I'm not trying to be someone.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're told that when we're little kids, when we're young, we're somebody asks us, "What do you want to be? What are you going to be?" And at 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, how do you know what you're going to be? But
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what you're going to be because you don't even know what it means to be.
Mm.
We think to be means I have to accumulate, I have to achieve, I have to obtain, have to make a mark in this life, leave a legacy. I have to do something profound. I have to be noted. I have to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and all of that is the desire, and it's the obsession with being a somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very comfortable being a nobody, and that goes back to what Linda said. That's being a nobody. Nobody. Not of. I'm not saying not of value. It just means
Mm-hmm.
that you are not identifying yourself wholeheartedly with this form and considering yourself to be just this.
Mm-hmm.
But most of us consider this to be all that we are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in religious terms, we'll say I'm spirit, and some of us will say I have a spirit instead of
Mm-hmm.
saying I am a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because some of us still believe that we have a spirit. I don't know who they think's going to have it, but they are a spirit. You are that spirit. In fact, you're that God spirit. You're that Holy Spirit. But you don't believe that because we've been religiously conditioned and afraid to accept our own self-worth.
Mm-hmm. there was a young man that came by to see us, Mother's Day gift to the wife, and he was and he is a part of the family, but he has done research into the annuals or the generation
Of your family.
of my
Yes.
family.
Yes. Yes.
And he came
Yes.
by and he told me that in his discovery, he found out many evolutions or many generations that my mama family was connected to a man who was connected to my father, last name Sawyer, many years ago. And my mom did not have any idea that when she married my daddy,
Nor did he have any idea.
nor did he have any idea that when she married my daddy, that they were generationally connected with each other eons ago in the
Their
earth.
bodies. Their bodies were related.
Was
Yeah.
related
Yes.
in the family way
Yes.
back then. And I said, I looked at this young man, his name was Ray. I looked at him, I said, what are you saying? And when he said that, sitting in my front room, I saw who he was coming to us as a long bloodline, a spirit being from the archives of God to reveal the mystery behind a physical name on earth that God set in motion for my mom and daddy to have some connection. They don't even know it. They didn't even know it. It may know it now, may not.
Well, my hope and my prayer for him, and I don't know if he's listening. If he is, it's okay. My hope and prayer for him is that he finds that he goes all the way as far as he can with looking for his beginning, but he won't find it in the bodies.
No,
he will not find it in the forms, the names. He will not find it there. He will not find himself, his beginning there. He will only find where his body began. Yeah. Sinette says this: when we meet a person, even though we've seen them before, it is a new encounter. Have often fun with that, meeting a new old friend. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I've often said, Sinette, that if we hold the memory of what that person is the last time we see them, if we hold that, the next time we see them, we're going to be looking through the filter of that memory and not see them for who they are today. And so we should suspend all of our judgments and preferences and everything about that person. Linda says, if you remove consciousness from the body, what worth does the body have? In contemplating that, you understand you are consciousness alone. The body is dust. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Very well said. Very well said. In fact, you guys are preaching better than we are tonight.
You guys got some good stuff coming here. This is real. This is the kind of talk you talk. I discovered that there are a lot of people in the earth find out who they were before coming into this story or this experience called Earth. And then there's some people who find it out before they get here, and some people find it out after they get here. The soul part of us, or some call it spirit or soul, is the part that has no beginning or end. But there are some discoveries that are made. Some of us came here to find out the truth of ourselves, and some came already knowing the truth of themselves. And I've run across a lot of them, and it is one of the strangest mystical feelings and presence to be standing in front of somebody, and you physically you haven't seen them before, and all of a sudden they just start rattling this stuff off about who we are as divine infinite identities. And there used to be a time when we would say, when somebody say that, we say, man, you done lost your mind. I didn't come here until my mama had me, or I was birthed at such and such a hospital in such and such a room.
Mm-hmm.
That was a man standing behind a door at 1146 North Cherry Street, I believe it was. Don't quote me on numbers, but it was in that area. This
Yes.
man was about almost 7 feet tall, real heavy man. And he, like did my mom,
Liked it.
like did my mom,
Liked
after
it.
my birth, which was late, but on time. I had a chance to meet this man before he crossed over. This man was standing behind the door in the bedroom where I was born, and they couldn't decide on what name to give me. And this man name was my name, and
Clifton.
Clifton, that was his name, Cliff,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ton. He put that on there,
You put the T-O-N.
Ton.
Okay.
And after a while, I had a chance to meet the man in person before he crossed over. And he said to me the whole story. He said, "You know how you got your name?" I said, "How?" He said, "I was in the room and nobody could come up with a name. So I gave them my name. And they've been calling you me or him ever since then."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I sat on the porch with this man. I could take you, if you were here with me, I could put you in my Jeep and take you to the man's house where he was. This man, I had a chance to meet him. It's like I was talking to myself when I talked to him. Well, I feel like that now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to myself when I talk to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I never, it's really, you want to just sit back and shake your head. And if there's any water to drip from your eyes, it's gratitude. Okay, here's gratitude. I'm going to call everybody on this site tonight gratitude. Jill gratitude, Sinette gratitude, Linda gratitude, Sinette gratitude. Everybody
You're
is
going to
gratitude.
call them gratitude.
I'm going to call you gratefulness, graciousness, gratitude. I'm going to call you thank you, love you. Everybody, I'm going to give you the name of God that fits your lifestyle, your position, and your calling in this dimension, in this, and the abilities, the ability that you are is in your name. The name that you chose to have to use temporarily in the earth to bring blessings to you. I'm also speaking to the blueprints in your hand and in your feet. That is actually, do you know the reason why you're blessed with everything that you touch, and everything you touch is blessed by you? Is because in your hands is the nail scar print, imprint, bearing the marks of God in your maps in your hand. And as always said, whatsoever you touch, it will be blessed. So you have to be careful how you touch things, because you are going to multiply the blessings of God through the touch and the steps that you make.
Yeah.
Now I can hear somebody's inner self saying, "Glory be to God. Thank you for the bigness of I amness." Okay, you got it. Walk in it. You've been walking in it all along, and just now acknowledging it in its fullness. Okay. All the shaking and quaking, screaming and hollering in the illusional world will not disturb the blessings in your hands and the steps of God in your shoes. Glory be to God. Okay, what you got?
I want to read a few scriptures. Can I?
Okay, go ahead.
These are, and I don't know, I just felt impressed to read these. This is in 2 Kings 6:17, and it says, "And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw." Now, mind you, this young man already was seeing. but he prayed that his eyes would be open to see.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was another set of eyes that needed to open. And then he said in Job 42:5, I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eye see thee. And then Matthew 5:8 says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Mm-hmm.
John 14:19 says, yet a little while, and the world sees me no more, but you see me. Because I live, you shall live also. In John 16:14, he said, he shall glorify me, for he shall receive of mine, and he shall show it unto you. All things that the Father hath are mine, therefore said I, that he shall take of mine and shall show it unto you. So there's a whole lot of scriptures about being able to see. And there's another scripture in Revelation that talks about anointing your eyes with eye salve so that you can see. So my prayer tonight is that you would be graced to see, that the Lord would open your eyes to see. And I don't mean see visions and spiritual visions. I don't mean seeing visions of God, or even though that's a good thing. I mean to be able to see that truth of who you are. And so that is it's a seeing, but it's not like a looking. It's not like a looking. But when you do see, you will then begin to think of yourself totally differently. In fact, you will think of yourself less. You will think of yourself
I met a man
less.
today that came to remove some stumps, tree stumps out of the yard. And he told me about an experience that he witnessed with a guy telling him that this man actually saw Jesus Christ in the physical world that we're in now and talked to him in person.
Yes.
And through the physical body of this man that he met. And I stood there and listened to him. And there used to be a time I used to say, well, God is spirit. You can't nobody see him. you know. No more days like that.
Well, our awakening, I say journey of our path to enlightenment began with our seeing Jesus.
Yeah. I'm just looking at something here where it said, Christ both which is in heaven and on earth, even in him as him we are.
Yes.
In heaven and on earth, expanded consciousness.
Yes.
In heaven and on earth we do stand.
Yes.
We do make it known to our awareness that heaven and earth is where God is, and where God is, we are.
And when you talk about expanded consciousness, if I have tunnel vision, I'm able only to see what's directly in front of me. I know when they have horses and they're trying to keep those horses at bay, they put the blinders on them, and those horses don't see anything on the sides of them, so they won't get distracted. And so sometimes we have tunnel vision and we don't see. So when we experience expanded consciousness, it's like we're only aware of certain things, and then when consciousness expands, you become more aware of other things, and you begin to see where you couldn't see things before. You begin to see those things, and it's just like a child who is 5. You wouldn't expect that child to understand the things that a 20-year-old understand.
You hear people talking sometimes, they'll say, like my uncle used to say, the man upstairs.
The sky god.
Yeah, the man upstairs. And I there's thousands of people that God is on the inside, the man upstairs. But I see something there. Now in Christ Jesus, who was sometime far off, is now made nigh unto us.
Yes,
he is nigh unto us.
Yes.
Now, when I say good morning, good evening, And I see you in the morning, I say good morning. And I'll say to you, good afternoon. And I'll see you, I say good evening. And if I don't see you no more, good night.
Okay.
You are walking in the day of the Lord.
Yes.
Woo.
Yes. Yes. So you are very, very, very blessed people.
You are?
You are such blessed people to be able to see, to be able to understand, to be able to recognize, to be able to even dare think of yourself as other than just these bodies and minds.
You see what Marquesa said?
Yes, she wanted to put it on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
yeah, that's okay,
yes,
baby.
sweetheart,
That's
you
fine.
can. Yes,
that's fine.
By all means, you can do that. So it is a wonderful thing that's taking place inside of you. It is the arising of that pure essence that you are, that pure God presence that you are, that is touching every being that you see, speak to, rub shoulders with, pass by, every person you blow your horn at. That pure presence essence is that God essence is being manifested everywhere you go, on your jobs, and with people that are very unlovable, but that God presence is walking. You are the voice of the Lord walking. You're walking. You're the voice of the Lord walking. You're such blessed people.
When that person said on the phone, said, I want to bless you because of the many blessings years ago that was manifested through them being in our presence. I said, look, I said, whether you give us a nickel, a penny, or a dime,
right, we appreciate
everything.
Yes,
and they said they were going to drive all the way a long distance, and that we were to contact
to put
them,
it in our hands,
to put it directly in our hands. And today it took place.
I want to tell them how much. I mean, they won't know who did it.
All right, go ahead. It's okay, man. Go ahead.
They put in our hands $13,000 to pay for the new air conditioners that we just financed. In fact, I just made one payment on it, and they just gave us the money to pay it off.
And I told her, now we are looking forward to the next $13,000 to $14,000 to pay for the roof that we just had put on the house.
Yeah.
And I saw something in there where it said that the handwriting of the ordinances are now torn up. They are warrants that against us because they say born in sin and shaped in iniquity.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what warrants you talking about.
The old man on that stuff.
Okay.
I see somebody, or even from this side over, I see the contracts of a loan being completely removed,
forgiven
to somebody out there that's listening to us right now. Whether we hear from you or not does not matter. I see you being free of debt.
Yes, sir. And I can't say that we had anything to do with it. We weren't confessing God is paying all our bills off. We weren't confessing that God's going to call somebody to give us this. No, it's just you are being taken care of because you are loved. God loves you, and that love comes through people. It comes through people.
Look what Sinette said.
Sinette says, "You helped me to remember. Always give me a new layer of clarity."
Oh,
thanks so much
heart.
For your telling truth. You're so welcome, Sinette.
Sinette, I'm looking at you on my left here. I can feel the hands of Jesus touching your head, and he's saying, daughter, my love comes upon you and overwhelms you from inside and out. And I see you taking your shoes off, and the place whereunto you stand is the actual ground of the holiness presence of peace of God.
Yes, yes.
You've been a miracle blessing to thousands of people, sweetheart, and many others out there. You have too.
Yes.
Sandra,
yes,
Phyllis,
yes,
Dion, all you guys out there, Miss Jill, Linda, all of you on the list. You have been such a blessing to people.
and to us.
And
Every
it
time,
seems
every time
like,
we see your name, we
yes, some of these people you help, you done forgot all about them. But God has not forgotten about them, inside and outside of you. And so I'm calling into the manifested existence.
Yes, let's do that.
I call right now from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet that the blessings of God that you gave to others that you may have forgotten, God didn't forget. God won't forget. And you're not giving to these people to get, but just because the law says give, and it shall be returned unto you 100-fold. I call these manifestations of God into your life to be seen, and with grace, not greasy grace, but the real grace of God is now bringing it to your front door, in the mail, check, airplane, bus, or train.
Yes, the whole law of abundance be open to you.
Yes.
Just be open to you. And it isn't so much because we're thinking about the material things, but you deserve to have that abundance. You deserve to have that in your life. And so we speak that into existence for you.
Miracle life, Brother James said. Miracle life. He said that, the Lord said that to me years ago. I thank you for the gracious beauty of God. I just saw a white horse come up to somebody's front door, and the white horse was transformed into a miracle blessing of complete debt-free, complete freedom. And I see the joy of the Lord as your strength in this horse.
Yes.
The white horse of Christ. It's now standing at your front door. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord, for all of them that are now under the sound of my voice. Thank you for the blessing of Pastor Norman.
Yes.
Thank you for the blessings of those that hear and have not put their names on the screen. You are now moving on them. You guys are so real. You're the realness. You make God so real. I want to touch him. I want to see him. I want to hear him. I want you to know that God, that someone said Jesus on the main line. Just tell him what you want. You don't have to tell him because he already knows.
Already knows. And my little pea brain, I have to admit, my little pea brain was trying to figure out how am I going to pay all this off?
Yeah.
How we're going to do this. And so I was looking at the numbers and I was shuffling numbers and I was thinking, okay, how I can do this or I can do that. And when that call came, my heart went up in my throat.
Yeah, I'm seeing your face.
It went up in my throat. And I literally could barely breathe. I was thinking, man, my mind can't grasp this.
You know, there are a lot of people that do things like that, have done this over the years, and they use that as a means to try to get me or her to say things over them and the blessing side.
Yeah.
But this time it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that.
There were no strings
and
attached.
I'm gonna be honest with you, whether you ask me to or not, or whether you give to us for that or not, I'm going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Just because. I like that kind of stuff. I'm always watching something around everybody I see I'm always watching to see the blessings of God in everybody's life,
Well,
whether they mention it or
if
not.
he did it for us, he'd do it for you too.
Yeah.
We are not special people. All of us are special. Linda says this, a good visual for me is if God was a light bulb and you put a bowl with pinholes over the bulb, each one of us is a shining pinhole, but the light is the same source, which is God.
And listen to this.
Oh, man.
Look at this. At the point of this pen, there's a universe. And every last one of us are standing at this point in God. I want to thank you again for tuning in to us, for coming online and calling those things that be not as though they are. I want to thank you for the many wonderful, good visions and thoughts that you've had of us. I want to thank you for the blessing that you're now sending to us by your presence. I now receive you as this supernatural power of God, that wherever you go, you're going to change the atmosphere around people and everywhere you go, and it's going to be a happy time. A happy time for all of you. Thank you for coming online with us again. We will be back with you again.
We will be back. Yes, we'll be back on Thursday at 12:30 with Pastor Norman.
Pastor Norman.
Yeah, and
I'm looking for good news from all of you now.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are. So make sure when you're blessed, you tell us about it. You got to tell us about it. We want to know because it will encourage all of us. Yeah. Okay. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Keep your nose clean.